Okay, welcome back to Crunch Time, guys. The show where you get the best DFS picks for the day, each and every day in under 1 hour. Today I'm joined with Chris, aka chrissair DFS. As always, just fresh out of the shower. As always, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Just was playing some chess earlier, getting my ass kicked, but that's how you get better. So that's how you get better in anything. So I'm good with it. I'm excited for this slate. We have 5 games. Ton of injury news. We got the Heat guys all out. We got some nice games. I like the Warriors Denver game at the end of the night. So yeah, we'll go through it all.
Yep, 5-game slate. Nice 5-game slate. What kind of chess were you playing? I need some
What do you mean,
clarification.
what kind?
Like real chess, online chess?
Yeah, online chess. Who plays real chess in 2020?
Okay, good to know. Ghostify's streaming, or not streaming, simulating the NBA Heat versus 76ers game.
In 2K?
Yeah, 2K right now.
He has to let us know how that goes. Did he get all the injured guys out?
I think so. Hero's in there. I think he had Danny Green. I think those guys would only be doing that if he did. Yeah, before we jump into the slate, let's do some housekeeping. As always, we go through the show using dfscrunch.com. That's our in-house optimizer, projections, fantasy projections, ownership projections, all that stuff. We have every sport, lots of stuff to check out. Be sure to go there, try it out. There's a 3-day free trial if you like what you see during the show or if you want to follow along. Next up, be sure to hit the like button on YouTube. I was going to say Twitter, but on YouTube, be sure to do that. That helps us out a lot with people finding our content. So we appreciate that. Also, hit subscribe if you're not, so you can get notifications. Hit the bell button. Hit all so you know when we go live each and every day. Next, housekeeping. We have some success tweets. I think yesterday the Discord kind of blew up. It was I don't know. We had an hour and a half of people posting their success after success after success. But I guess we only have a few of them here on the Discord. We can go over those. You can touch up on the widespread success in the Discord. Let's just go through this one first. What do you see here, Chris? Who did we talk about here yesterday? And what do you like here?
So top one, obviously my main NBA slate. Bottom one is NHL. Don't really want to go into NHL too much, but NBA, of course, here. Everyone we talked about. We got news that Bledsoe was out 15 minutes before lock. So we obviously jammed in Alexander Walker. Just easiest play of the night. Got us 50, so that was pretty, expected. Probably didn't expect 50, but around 40, but still got the job done. Obviously jammed in Ingram as well. Lillard, Fox, we talked about. Bruce Brown, easy play with all those guys out. KD, Randall, James Johnson, DeAndre Jordan, just solid construction here.
Yeah, definitely high score as well. Next up, Turn and Burn. I think Turn and Burn, he was one of those guys who was just posting success after success for that 2-hour stretch we had. I think different sports, different slates wrapping up at different times. So yeah, what do you want to say about this one, Chris?
Obviously this is his cash lineup. I can't see the team, just see the score, 352.75. I think one of the pros, I think B. Kreider had this lineup on DK, 352.75. So always good when you're matching with one of the top pros.
Yeah, that's definitely something you can look at when you're doing your homework, when you're looking at previous contests to see what the pros did, what they do after the slate locks as well. So that's something you used to do a lot, you still do a lot of to get better, to just stay sharp. So that's definitely good to see that you have the same lineup as the pros. Always good to see that. Next up, Rookie. Shout out to Rookie, longtime member now. I think a few months. I think we had her as a member prior to COVID with NBA before, and then I think took a little bit of a break, came back a few months ago, but doing well, really consistent. What do you see here, Chris?
So this is obviously the optimal. Performed well. I already went over the team, so yeah, just solid results here.
Yep. One more. I'm surprised I made the cut today. My NBA success did not make the cut. This was some NHL stuff. Messing around with Optimizer, using the team stacking, or sorry, the line stacking feature, team lineup stacking feature that we went over yesterday quickly. So I did that. Had some success there. I don't really know NHL that well, but it still works out. Like, it's nice. It's what I always say here. Part-time DFS for me. It's part-time NHL DFS, full-time results. So that's good to see as well. Anything else you want to go over before we jump into the slate, Chris?
No, I mean, I'm going to be playing NHL today as well. Are you going to be playing NHL today?
Yeah, I am. It locks at 7 p.m. Eastern, so it's not locking during the show. Yeah, this locked during the show as well yesterday, so it's probably a little bit harder for me to do. But today, yeah, it locks after the show, so it'll be a bit easier. So I'm definitely going to play more NHL again.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, also, if you're not following us on Twitter, do that. It's at DFS Crunch. I think it's in the description of the video here as well. So let's do that as well. You can always tweet at us. I think we're doing like, if you get a player's stat line correct, if you just, maybe you can get a link in the chat, Chris. Like, if anyone wants to predict what a player today will get their stat line, I think it's points, rebounds, assists. If you get it right, we'll give you, I think it's a free month of subscription, DFS Crunch subscription, $75 value. So be sure to do that if you have any, if you have a hunch today. Okay, let's go into the slate. First game, we have Miami at Philadelphia.
Let's do a quick overview first. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's your part. Let's go.
So today we only have 5 games. You're definitely going to have to jump into the conversation more a bit, Gary, just so we can spend a few more minutes on each game. But yeah, obviously we have the Harden trade that happened yesterday. We have the Rockets playing today. Obviously the guys that were involved in that trade are not playing today. So we got a ton of value here from the Rockets. The Heat are playing with like 8 guys again, just like last game. So I expect similar rotations. This game is on Fanduel today. It wasn't on Fanduel last time out, so we got that for us. Great value there as well. And then just in the other games, we'll have spend ups like Jokic, Curry, Lillard, Brogdon. Guys like that will really round out the lineup. So the 3 early games today, they have like a over-under around 220. The later games are around 225 to 230. So definitely have more interest in the spend ups in the later games, but most of our value comes from Houston and Miami, which are the early games.
Yeah. Brandon's saying he'd rather get a DFS Crunch t-shirt instead of the subscription. I mean, honestly, like, if you win, we could give you a t-shirt if you got one, right?
We got to get our own t-shirts first before we start giving out t-shirts. But I mean, once we do that, we'll definitely start giving those out.
Question for you in the chat, Chris. Does your hair just start its day out like that?
Before the show, I always jump into the shower. Got to be fresh, so no, it doesn't start the day like this. I mean, I wish it did. That would be much easier.
I mean, you can get one of those shorter haircuts, then it starts out fine. Definitely a little more time to maintain when it's longer, for sure. Speaking about hair, I guess Miami, do you think Kelly O's ever going to get a haircut? I think it kind of looks a little ridiculous. I know Hasty's going to agree with that. Like, Hasty's the substitute teacher. He sees a lot of hair. He knows the haircut, so I'm sure he'll say something about Kelly Olynyk's haircut. But yeah, what do you think of that, Chris?
I think we should ask you. You used to have a similar haircut to that.
It's
back
not
in the day. So
it's
definitely
not nice. Definitely not nice. I mean, I don't have that NBA money. If I had that NBA money, I'd get my hair done like every day, like most of the other guys. I don't know what Kelly O is doing. Kelly O used to have good hair in high school from Hasty.
I'm not sure about that. Can't confirm or deny.
All right. Okay. Hair talk done for the day. I think let's jump into the first game. Miami against Philadelphia here. There's a lot of guys missing here on both teams. I guess maybe you can go over who's left over, Chris, instead of the usual list of players out, and then I can do the starters.
Yeah. So I mean, you pulled it up here. We could see that they have 8 guys: Hero, Olynyk, Precious, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent, Iggy, Chris Silva, and Max Struss. So like I said earlier, it's the same team that we saw last game out. They're playing against the same team as well. Obviously, that last game went into OT. We have a 10-point spread here favoring the Sixers. The Sixers have their guys back, so I don't expect it to stay as competitive, but we still have really good value from this game. I guess we can start, I don't even know how to say this just because everyone here is in play. I guess we can start on Fanduel and then go through Draftkings afterwards for this team just because there's so much to touch on.
Yeah, let me just go over projected starters quickly then.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. We have Hero, Vincent, Robinson, Precious, and Kelly O starting for them right now. Yeah, who do you see here? You like everyone. What do you think of their price after last time? Is there still good value?
Yeah, so the sites, they did an awful job pricing them up. DK did a little better, but we still have some value there. But on FanDuel, it's just awful. They're all way too cheap. So I'll start with Hero up top, 6.5K. Just a lock and load play today. I don't see a way he doesn't exceed his value for that price tag on FanDuel. So love him in both formats. Duncan Robinson, same thing, 4.9K. Should see at least 40 minutes. So I don't see a route where I'm fading him today. Same as Precious, 4.1K, small forward eligible, just easy play. No need to fade that. And then Kelly O, 5.3K power forward, just same sort of thing. You don't need to get cute here. So yeah, those are my main cash guys in FanDuel. If you want some tournament options, Gabe Vincent is fine. Are you on? Yeah, you're still on FanDuel. So yeah, yep. Gabe Vincent is fine, 4.5K. Iggy, don't love him just because I don't expect him to get heavy minutes. They'll probably keep him around 20, 24. So that price tag is fine if you want to go there, but I prefer guys like Hero. Ben McLemore we'll talk about, 3.7K. Just presents better value for me. So other than the top four here, these are my cash guys on FanDuel. And then for DraftKings, let's see DraftKings here. So DraftKings, as you can see, they priced them up a bit better, but still this is a little too cheap. Hero 7.3, definitely don't mind paying that price tag. He should have the ball in his hands a lot. He should be at least 8K here in this spot. Kelly O might be a little too expensive for me in cash games, just because we have the Houston value we'll talk about later. Fits better, and then once we jam in that Houston value, we can spend up for guys like Jokic, Sabonis, Wood. Yeah, so not too interested in Kelly O. Same thing for Duncan Robinson. The other guy that stands out here for me is Precious, 4.4K. Just an easy play here. Pretty much a near lock for me. So yeah, I love that price tag in my cash games.
Yep. Let's do the same thing for Philadelphia. I'll just quickly touch on the starters for them. I think we're getting a play-by-play, the text play-by-play, ESPN text play-by-play from Ghostify on his simulated game right here. We also have a comment from Brandon asking about your inhaler. Do you have an inhaler, Chris?
No, it's just a water bottle. Brita water bottle.
Hasey's asking Gabe Vincent going to do it again.
Yeah, if he's starting. Definitely. He started last game, so we had a ton of interest in him last game. If he's starting, I still prefer the other four guys I mentioned above him, just because he's kind of priced up. We want to spend up at point guard on FanDuel. We have Houston value that we prefer over him on DraftKings, so probably tournament only for me as of now.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have him projected to start right now as well, but we'll have to see closer to the lock. Philadelphia projected starters right now. We have Ben Simmons, Shake Milton, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. Embiid had that monster game yesterday. I think it's a ceiling game. He scored I don't know if he got close to his career high points. Maybe he did. It was what was it, 40 something?
Definitely not. I don't think it was close to a career high. I think he's had some 50s. Maybe I'm wrong, but it wasn't yesterday either. This was 2 days ago.
Yeah, sorry, last game.
So it's 3-4 here, third game in 4 nights, but I expect him to be fine. More of a tournament play for me, honestly. If I'm spending up, I'd rather go to Jokic, just because these guys are back now. They have Toby back now. They have Shake Milton, Thibault. So they're not thin anymore. So we don't have much interest in these guys. And I really don't like spending up for Sixers here, just because it's a 10-point spread. Tough-ish matchup against Miami. Pretty low total. So if I'm spending up, I'd rather spend up for guys in the high total games. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine with Embiid and Simmons in tournaments, but that's pretty much all my interest here.
Yeah, I just pulled up the stats here at the DFS Crunch production office, back office here, front office. Highest points for Embiid was 49 actually, so that is close, Chris. I think he got 45. So,
I mean, it was an OT game, so that gave him a few extra minutes. But yeah, he looked dominant. He got 85 fantasy points. That's all we really care about in DFS, which is it was nice for DraftKings.
Yeah, Hasty saying Trigger nailed the Gabe Vincent pick the other night.
Yeah, I mean, he was chalk, chalk.
It's not like a hot take.
Guys, yeah, it wasn't really a hot take, but definitely a good call by Trigger.
Yeah, you got to give credit where credit is due, Chris. You can't just take that away from him. I think I've done that a few times. You called me out, so
I'm more impressed with Trigger's takes on like low-owned guys like Chetty, Wancho. Not too impressed with the Gabe Vincent where he's 100% owned, but yeah, definitely like the other ones.
Brandon, shots fired from Brandon. He's saying he nailed that pick for sure. What about the other 98 people he liked that night? I think he's maybe mixing them up with Hasty.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, next up, I'm excited for this game. We have Charlotte against Toronto. We can go over Charlotte first. Hayward is probable for them. Starters, we have Graham, Rozier, Hayward, PJ, Washington, and Bismack Biyombo. Revenge game maybe for Biyombo. He used to be a former Raptor. I don't think they signed him. I don't know if they traded him. They just didn't sign him.
I mean, you would know better.
Yeah, he was like a fan favorite there. He's a hustle guy. Pretty sure Hasty likes Biyombo's play. Like, he hustles, he rebounds, he plays hard. It's kind of his role. He's a gritty guy. Any interest in the Hornets, Chris?
No, I have no interest here. It's a low total game. 220 over under. Spread is 8.5 favoring the Raptors. They're on the back end of a back-to-back. We would have more interest if Hayward was out. He obviously went out mid-game yesterday, only played 26 minutes, but he's probable today, so I expect him to be in. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about anyone here. LaMelo and GPPs is fine, but that's about it.
Yeah, let's go into Toronto. Patrick McCaw still out for them. Projected starters, we have Kalo, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Alex Len. I think we were talking about this last night. I think you said Boucher might start. He's such a beast. Like, I think he should start. I love seeing this price tag, 7.8 on Fanduel for Chris Boucher. I know it's not a good price tag for DFS. Like, you don't like that price tag. I think on DraftKings, Boucher is a bit less, 6.5. So I'm interested in him for tournaments on DraftKings. FanDuel definitely a bit riskier, but I mean, like, if he can get 30 plus minutes, like, he can definitely hit that price tag, like hit the value. But the question's always the minutes. But yeah, I guess first question, do you think Len is going to start for them? Do we have any news on that?
I think we might get Boucher here. He's been starting the second halves of the last two games. I mean, I think they might start him here, but the thing with him is always foul trouble. If he stays out of foul trouble, he smashes, but if he doesn't, he's kind of handsy. So that's a little bit of a problem. And the builds don't really like, the construction doesn't fit that price tag here today. Like, we're spending down for value with Houston, Miami, and we're spending up for guys in better game environments like Jokic, Sabonis, Curry, Lillard, people like that, Brogdon. So not too much interest in Boucher today. You can take some shots in tournaments. You'll get a different construction, which is nice. But he's hard to fit in FanDuel, where you have Wood, you have Kelly O, who are just locks at power forward. Sorry, but the main guy that I have interest in here on FanDuel is Kyle Lowry. He's 7.2, so we're getting a pretty big price discount. He fits in my cash games. Price tag of 7.2. He's been seeing 35 minutes, pretty high usage rate, shooting over 15 shots a game, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, but what are we projecting for here? Around 37, 38?
Kalo
Yeah,
38.
37,
37,
37 and a half. Yeah, so he fits the Fanduel build very well. I love him as my second point guard in my Fanduel cash games. On Draftkings, Siakam maybe 8.5. He's looked really good in the past couple of games. Been putting up 50 burgers. So I have interest in him in tournaments. If you want to go there on Fanduel, maybe pivot off of Wood. You'll definitely be different. I personally wouldn't do it. I'd just lock in Wood and Olynyk. And if I'm spending up a little more, I'd go to Sabonis. So you'll get Siakam probably like 5% owned, which is kind of nice if you want to do that. But probably no interest for me even in tournaments.
Yeah, we're getting some love for Chris Boucher in the chat on DraftKings. Trigger's saying Boucher DK lock. Probably for me as well. That's definitely something I'm going to consider after the show. Hasty is asking Boucher to start because Hornets play smallish.
I don't think so. Like, if he's starting, I just think it's because he's their best big. Like, we've seen Len, we've seen Baines. They've looked awful. It makes more sense to start one of them just because they're playing against Biyombo, who's like a physical big. Boucher probably doesn't match up well. It'll probably... I mean, if I'm guessing, it's probably Powell who starts OG at the 5 just to guard, what's his name, Biyombo. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't love Boucher. If you want to play him, definitely better play on DK in tournaments, but no interest in my cash games.
Yeah, I think I caught you shaking your head when I was talking about Boucher there. Don't love that, but I mean, it's the safer fantasy move for sure. Henry is saying Boucher is a move on DraftKings. Price is a risk, but high ceiling, good GPP. Agree.
Yep.
Okay, let's go into the next one. Next up, Houston against San Antonio. Let me load up the starters here. Go over Houston first. I think, obviously Harden's out for them. I think lots of guys out for them. We can just do who's left, Chris. Why don't we do that? Let me just do the projected starters, and then you can go over that. We have Brown, McLemore, Nwaba, Tucker, and Wood. You really like Wood today, cover boy. What do you think of the Rockets today? Short-handed Rockets.
So, I mean, yeah, if you just go to Houston, we can see we can do what we did for Miami, start on FanDuel. So they have a few more guys, but we know where most of their production is going to come from. Christian Wood, absolute lock for me. He's 8.1K on FanDuel. Just an easy play. Love him in tournaments. Love him in cash games. He's going to be 100% owned in 50-50s probably. So, I mean, I wouldn't get cute there. Boogie, I'm okay with Boogie in tournaments, but I think it's a spend-up spot at center. So if you want to be different with your construction, you can play Boogie, but I probably won't have too much Boogie exposure here. But the other main guy on FanDuel is Ben McLemore, 3.7K. Really fits cash game builds well at that price tag. He's going to shoot a lot. Like, they're very short-handed at the guard position and the wings. So, I mean, I like Ben McLemore at 3.7K there. Probably a lock for me in my cash games over on FanDuel. Another guy, Jayshawn Tate, 4K, small forward eligible. If you want to go there as a last piece over someone like Robinson, I'm fine with it. I still probably prefer Duncan Robinson over him, but I mean, he's there if you want it. You're probably going to get some lower ownership on him just because most of the field will go to the Heat guys at small forward. And then two more guys I'll mention, Sterling Brown, 3.8. If you want to pivot off of McLemore and go to Sterling Brown, don't hate that in tournaments. Definitely wouldn't do it in cash games. And then last guy, David Nwaba, 4.8K. I'm fine with him. He's not going to give you a ceiling game, but you're just playing him just because they're so thin.
Yep. Let's go over Draftkings then. Houston side as well.
So Draftkings, we have a lot more interest just because we have a lower salary cap. These guys are way closer to the minimum. So we have Wood, obviously, a lock for me in both formats, cash and tournaments. Ben McLemore here, 3.4K, so 400 over the minimum. Easy lock here. Cousins, not too interested, as I said, on FanDuel. We don't need this price tag here at center. We want to spend up just because we have the value guys. And all of their guys who are out are mostly guards and wingers. So we don't need a center here when they're going to play wood most of the time. Even though I'm a huge boogie guy, you can do it in tournaments, but I wouldn't have any interest outside of that. Just like I said on FanDuel, David Nwaba, he's 3.2K here. As we saw on FanDuel, he was 4.8, so much better price here. Easy lock here as well on DraftKings in both formats. Sterling Brown, 3K. Just an easy play as well. You don't need to get cute. So yeah, that's really good in cash games. And then last guy, Jayshawn Tate, also 3.3K, power forward eligible. So I have interest in that, but definitely going to have at least four, maybe five Rockets in my DK cash game lineups.
Yep. Hasty's asking about Jayshawn Tate, saying he looks solid. He's also asking if he gets minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he does look solid. He's pretty aggressive. We've never seen this situation with the Rockets before. They have like four wingers, three guards / wings. So, I mean, he should see at least probably 36 minutes here.
Okay, let's jump into the San Antonio Spurs. Over there we have DeRozan in for them. Weatherspoon, Eubanks, and Bates Diop all out for them. Projected starters, we have Murray, Walker, DDR, Keldon Johnson, and Aldridge. What about the Spurs today, Chris? Any interest here?
No. So no one here stands out for me in cash games. So I'll just say that to start off with. I'm not going to have any Spurs in my cash game lineup on either site. These guys are tournament only for me. Obviously, DeRozan is back now. He missed the last couple of games, so their guards are kind of priced up for DeRozan being out, so it's not great there. Maybe one guy I have slight tournament interest in is LMA. Like, who knows if he could get there? Maybe he can have an old school LMA game. He's 6'7" on DK. Don't mind that in tournaments, but I don't know. I just think we have better pieces to target elsewhere.
Yeah, agree with you on that one. Like you said, no need to get cute. I think that's really important to remember with all this value here. Like, there's really no need to get cute, especially if you're doing cash. Even in tournaments, I think you'd want to get all the solid plays in there, as many of them as you can. Okay, next up we can go over Indiana, Portland. This game is supposed to shoot out, right, Chris?
Indiana, Portland. Yeah, this is so now we're getting into the two higher total games, tighter spreads. Yeah, so these are definitely where our spend ups come from today.
Okay. We can go over Indiana. Obviously, LeVert is going to play for them soon. Not yet. There's also Lamb out for them. A few other guys there as well. Wait, who else did they move? Oh, they lost Oladipo as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, lost Oladipo. So starters right now, we have Brogdon, Sumner, Holiday, Sabonis, Turner projected to start. What do you think of this newish Indiana squad without Oladipo here?
So, I mean, we've seen this before without Oladipo. Like, he's been sitting back ends of back-to-backs, so it's nothing new here. Obviously, their new guys aren't there yet, so it's nothing new. We don't want value guys here just because we have better value from Houston and the Rockets. Houston and the Miami Heat. So the main guys here are the spend-ups, Brogdon and Sabonis. Sabonis is 9.5 on DK. He's 9.2 on FanDuel. I like him more on DraftKings just because, like I said earlier, on FanDuel we're probably going to go Wood, Olynyk. But yeah, we can get him on DraftKings at 9.5. Definitely don't mind that. Love the matchup against the Blazers. Yeah, so it's a 3.5 spread favoring the Blazers. 230 over under, which is the highest on the slate. So he's my priority spend up over on DraftKings. And then Brogdon as well is also viable, 8.3K on DK. Don't mind that price tag, 8.6 on FanDuel. I like that a lot as well. He just sort of fits the build. We're spending up at point guard, and when you can get Brogdon in this great matchup, he plays a ton of minutes. Like, he's solid. He's never going to give you like a 20 fantasy point game. Has a really good floor. Just a really solid all-around player, which you like in DFS. So yeah, those are my two main guys that I have interest in on the Pacers.
Yeah. Hasty's asking Holiday day today. What do you have to say about that, Chris?
So Aaron Holiday had the big game last time out with Oladipo out. He didn't get the start, but he looked really good. Finally was aggressive. Put up 16 points, 12 assists. So that was pretty good to see. He looked like more like himself from last year. But like I keep saying, like, we don't need value from this team. Our value comes from the Heat and the Rockets. Just much better plays there. I mean, if you want Aaron Holiday, you're going to get him at like 2% owned. If you want Justin, same sort of thing. So most of my interest is the spend ups here.
Yep. He's also saying Brogdon is thick compared to Portland's guards. What do you make of that analysis there?
Yeah, I mean, I love Brogdon.
Okay. Thomas Bay just entered the chat. He's asking if we mentioned Precious earlier. I guess maybe you can just tell him main things about the Miami squad today, what you think of Precious.
I mean, if you want to go back and see it, like, Miami's a really key piece today, so I don't want to spend 5 minutes on it again. But yeah, Precious, he's a lock for me. I have 4 Heat in my Fanduel lineup right now. Just way too much value there to pass up on.
Yep, definitely. Okay, Portland, no new notable news there. Starters, we have Lillard, McCollum, Jones Jr., Covington, and Nurkic. Second half, like, tail end of the back-to-back here for them. They played last night. I think Nurkic looked a lot better last game yesterday. What do you think of the Blazers today? Any interest there?
So yeah, it is the back end of a back-to-back. Dame looked really good yesterday. Put up like 70 fantasy points for me, so I loved that. His shot was on. Yeah, so if you want to play him in cash games at 9-2 on FanDuel, definitely don't mind that. He's in the conversation there for sure. Same thing on Draftkings. He's 9-3, definitely in the conversation of cash game spend-ups there. Another guy I'll mention is Nurkic. If you want to play him for 5-3 on DraftKings, that's a really low price. He's finally put together some good games, so I definitely don't mind paying 5-3 for him in my cash games on DK. On FanDuel, I don't think we need it because it's a spend up spot, so I don't love that, but definitely have interest on DK. CJ McCollum, he's looked really good this year. Maybe it's time to buy into the hype. His price tag is 9.5 on FanDuel, so that's a bit of a shock for me to see. 8.4 on DK, much better price tag. So yeah, probably most of my interest comes on DK for CJ McCollum, but still tournament only for me. I don't think we need it in cash games. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like, Dame's a really good last piece if you want to go there, and then I love Nurkic on DraftKings.
Yeah, I think CJ last year, years before, we used to see him hovering around like the 7K price tag. I think 7.4 was kind of high for him before. I think he sometimes dropped to like the mid to high 6,000 range on FanDuel. I can see why you'd be like a little hesitant to play him now, but yeah, he's, like you said, like, he looks solid. Like, his price is up, but he's been quite solid.
Yeah, he's been putting up big games.
Yeah.
Weaver says both teams on a back-to-back. Any chance it's not as high on the scoring? So Indiana isn't on the back end of a back-to-back here. Maybe they're on the front end. I'm not sure about that, but still, like, 229 total, highest on the slate. I have no reason to think it doesn't end high scoring, just because Portland doesn't play any defense. Indiana plays fast. So yeah, I don't think I have no concerns with that.
Yep. Okay, last game here. Go over that. From Hasty actually saying, Trigger first said Lillard snapped yesterday. Hasty saying CJ so legit, single-handedly beat Duke in college. Do you remember that, Chris?
No, I mean, I wasn't watching Lehigh, so I have no memory of that. Maybe I should watch some YouTube videos on that, but yeah, CJ is legit for sure.
Yeah, I think Hasty also had like a documentary recommendation for, I think, tomorrow or something on the Canadian Broadcast Network. I think it's called, what's it called? Anyone's Game? Something like that. Have you heard of that one, Chris?
I've never heard of that. Is that basketball, hockey? What is that?
Yeah, basketball documentary.
Is it new?
Okay, I think so. Canadian basketball, yeah. I'm sure Hasty will comment on it, clarify that a bit. Let's go into the next game, last game here. We have the Warriors against the Nuggets. Warriors side over here, we have Pascal in, Curry. Is he playing? I have a note here, but I don't know what it says. I think he's in. Starters, we have Curry, Kelly Oubre, Wiggins, Green, Wiseman. Any interest in the Warriors today, Chris? I think Oubre actually he shot the ball well last game.
So
before that he was struggling quite a bit.
In cash games, the only interest I have is in Curry, just because this is a good game environment. We expect it to shoot out 225 over under, so that's second highest on the slate. Pretty tight spread, 5 favoring the Nuggets. So if I'm spending up, I'm fine with Curry. A lot of teams have been playing the box and one on him, so it's kind of been hard for him to get his shots up. He's pretty unselfish, so like if the team is winning and like the other team is just playing box and one on him, I think he's fine with it. So that's the only thing I don't love about him. I probably prefer to go down to Brogdon, Lowry on Fanduel, and then on Draftkings I prefer probably Dame over him. Guys like Sabonis in the util, Jokic even. So I probably don't love Curry today, but definitely a solid last piece in cash games and a pretty good target in tournaments. That's pretty much it for cash games. Tournaments, like you can play Draymond. He's looked pretty good. Been seeing minutes in the 30s, so I don't mind that in tournaments. Both sites I'm good with. Wiggins had a big game last time out. He put up 5 blocks, so that helped his fantasy output. Got 48 Fanduel points, 46 Draftkings points. So I mean, I don't mind him in tournaments, but probably not my favorite play. And then if you go down a bit more, I don't really see anyone, just because we have, like I keep saying, we have priorities with the Rockets and Heat guys if we're spending down. So
yeah,
I mean, maybe spend up for Curry in tournaments. I don't mind that. He can always go nuclear, but other than that, probably not too much interest.
Yep. Let me go over the Denver stuff while they do that, Chris. You can check out Hasty's comment about that documentary. Denver side, we have Whittington out for them. Gary Harris questionable. Porter Jr., I think he's still out with the COVID until 19th, I think, next week. Starters, we have Murray, Harris, Barton, Millsap, and Jokic. Any interest in the Nuggets today, Chris?
Well, you said we got to go over Hasty's comment here.
Oh, yeah. You have it there.
You said anyone's game on CBC, all about Orange Hill Prep, where Dort, Maker, and Murray came from. I actually played with the guy on that team with Thon Maker. I think he's around my age, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I mean, maybe I'll check it out. I don't have TV, of course. I'm not a fossil, so I mean, it might be hard for me to. I'll probably have to find it somewhere on the internet.
You're not a fossil. Come on, Chris. They're always calling me out to be respectful and stuff, and you just throw out these comments here. Maybe we can get Hasty to record it on VHS for us. we can find our VHS player in the basement and play the recording there. CBC Gem is free for all. Only if you're in Canada, though. I don't think you get that out in the States. Okay, yeah, back to the Denver team over here. What do you think of the Nuggets, Chris? Who do you like here? Anything viable for cash or tournaments?
Yeah, so like I kind of kept alluding to throughout the show, we have our value elsewhere, and then we have spend ups in this game. So I have a ton of interest in Jokic. Just really easy to get to today at center with all the value that we have. I like him on both sides. We're spending up a bit for him. He's 11-2 on FanDuel. I think he's 11 flat on DK. But just with all the value we have, it's pretty easy to get there. So I do like Jokic in both formats, both sites. Anyone else here? Probably not. Everyone else is probably tournament only. Maybe Will Barton, 5-7 on FanDuel. I don't mind that, but I don't know. I have more interest in other guys in the mid-range. So yeah, mostly Jokic is my interest here.
Yep. Hasty saying it's going to stream tomorrow night. Max Stress, an okay desperation play if I have 3.1 left over from Josh.
So if you have 3.1 left, Sterling Brown, he's 3K. David Nwaba, 3.2 if you have 100 extra. Ben McLemore, 3.4. Jayshawn Tate, 3.3. So, I mean, if you don't have that extra money to get to Tate, McLemore, or Nwaba, I would try to find a way to do that instead of playing Max Struss.
Yeah. Thomas Bay about Jokic, point center. His favorite player there.
The God.
Hasty saying Struss can shoot. Chucked 6 threes last game.
Yeah, I mean, like that game, I don't know. It's a tougher matchup today. The Sixers are healthy. He only played 23 minutes. He got 10 fantasy points. So definitely we have a lot more interest in the Rockets guys that I mentioned.
Yep. Okay. Do you want to jump into the core plays right now?
Yep.
Okay, let's do that. One more thing on Struss. Hasty's saying he's not going to get 20 minutes tonight.
He's probably saying he's going to get more, but like he played 23 last night, or not last night, last game. So like definitely we don't need that today.
Hasty's saying less minutes. Josh in YouTube, he's saying, I don't know if I should avoid playing Sterling Brown and McLemore, depending on who starts. So playing both is better than taking a shot on Struss. This is question.
Yeah, for sure. Playing both is way better than taking a shot on Struss.
Yep. Okay, let's go over the core plays, cash core plays here on Fanduel first. I already have Christian Wood locked in, so I know that one. Who's the next one, Chris?
So it's going to be Heat and Rockets. Tyler Hero at shooting guard, easy play, 6'5", ton of guys out. Ben McLemore, 3'7", just an easy lock today. Precious Achiuwa, I don't know how to say the last name, so I'll keep saying Precious. Easy play there. And then Kelly O, 5'3". No need to get cute.
I guess you want to touch up on Christian Wood, why you like him today? I guess we already went over that, but I locked him in without you saying why.
I mean, I went over Christian Wood a ton. Like their guys are all out. No John Wall, no James Harden, none of the new guys from the trade. So yeah, easy play.
Yeah, Mike's calling you out for the age shaming. Josh is saying I don't want to.
You got to let me comment on Mike's comment. Maybe he's probably a little behind. He's probably in the VOD. Maybe he started a bit late, so he might see this in 10 minutes. But I mean, it's all love when I age shame Hasty.
Yeah, for sure, all love, right, Hasty? I don't want to feel so. I feel much better. Not sure.
Josh says. So we were talking about the Rockets guys. He says, I don't want to, so now I feel much better.
Got it.
Now I need to choose either Patty Mills or Milton at point guard or Maxey. Definitely have no interest in any of those guys. We'll go over the DK build soon. It's super simple, so you definitely don't need to pick any of those guys today.
Yep. Yeah, Hasty knows what we're about. Okay. With your locks, here's what we have. Lowry in the first one. I think it's the point guard.
This first team has a two-point projection over the next team, so that's always a good thing. The 2v2, yeah, as you said, is this Brogdon, Lowry versus Lillard, Murray. All day the first one. Don't love Murray when he's not playing a ton of minutes. Seems like a playoff guy, not a great regular season guy, so don't have interest in Murray. Yeah, first and third here, Brogdon and Jokic versus Curry and Embiid. I'm still on the Jokic side. Like, I love Jokic today. Embiid is in that 10-point spread, pretty 220 over under, so not as high as the Denver game. So yeah, I definitely like the Jokic side on FanDuel here.
So do you want to analyze these a bit more, or do you you just like the first one here the most by far?
I mean, we went over all these plays. 5 of them are locks here. The only guy that isn't a lock is Duncan Robinson. He's 4'9", like just easy play. They have 8 guys. You definitely don't need to get cute there.
Okay. What do you think of the Ben Simmons ones? Any interest there?
So it's Ben Simmons and Barton over Brogdon and Duncan Robinson. Like you're getting a worse player in Ben Simmons compared to Brogdon, and then you're getting Barton, who's slightly better than Robinson. But I don't know. I like Robinson here. He played 45 minutes. Obviously, it was an OT game last time out, so probably expect somewhere around 40. He shoots a ton. Like he's a much better play than Barton in my eyes.
What about this one, number 7 here? Ben Simmons, Lowry. You still get Robinson here.
I mean, what's with all the Ben Simmons love? Like, I have no interest in Ben Simmons today.
Okay, Chris does not like Ben Simmons, confirmed. I have him rostered in my season-long fantasy. That's why there's that love. Yeah, he can't shoot, so not that much love for me either.
Josh says, I'm stacking Sabonis, Jokic, Wood, and Boucher in one lineup, so just trying to figure things out. Yeah, so we'll go over our DK locks. If you lock in our core and then build out your lineup from there, I think you'll have an easier time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we do here. We make your time constructing your lineups a lot easier. So that's why you have to subscribe, hit the bell button, hit notifications so you stay up to date. Do that if you haven't done that, so you can always get our content. Yeah, let's go over the Draftkings side, Chris. I already have these guys locked because you mentioned they were locks as we were going through the Rockets. Correct me if I'm wrong, but who else do we have here?
Trigger says, good take, Chris. He's talking about the Simmons thing that I kind of called you out on, so Trigger's definitely sharp. So you're definitely in the wrong there, Gary. But yeah, here we start with our locks. We have 3 Rockets. Benny Mac, David Nwaba, Christian Wood, just all easy plays, all super good value, so I love those guys. We can spend up for someone else here. We can go to Domantas Sabonis, 9.5K. Pretty easy get here as well, just with all these Rockets value guys. And then we'll add one more Rocket here. We'll go with Sterling Brown, minimum price at 3K. So just if you play these Rockets, like it opens up the rest of your lineup, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I feel like if we had Thomas here in the chat right now, he would definitely defend me about the Ben Simmons hate you guys are throwing my way. So if Thomas was here, it'd be a different story, but I'll take it. What do you see here? Which ones do you like? Do you want to heart any of them and go over them like that, or just so many core plays here?
Let's go over the first and the second. I think those are clearly the best lineups here. So yeah. Obviously, in both lineups, we have our locks: Ben Mack, Sterling Brown, Christian Wood, David Nwaba, and Domantas Sabonis. So yeah, we have a 3v3 here, as you're highlighting. On the first side, we have Hero, Precious, Jokic versus the second side, which has Brogdon, Dame, and Nurkic. Like, this is a really easy decision for me. We got to take into account which side has more injury news here, which side we're getting an advantage on with pricing. So if we can jam in Hero and Precious here for these prices, I'm doing that 10 times out of 10. And then obviously to make it all better, we get Jokic for 11K. So yeah, definitely this first side is definitely my favorite team as of now.
Yeah. Thomas is actually here, but he's not defending Ben Simmons. I thought he loved Ben Simmons, but guess not.
He's probably busy constructing his lineups, making sure he doesn't play Kevin Huerter in a postponed game again today.
Yeah, like, come on, Thomas. Like, you have our tool. I know you're a member here. Like, you watch the show. Like, you gotta be a bit sharper than Kevin Huerter on the postponed game.
I mean, even if it wasn't postponed, like, why would you play Kevin Huerter? Doesn't make any sense.
I think he has him in his season-long fantasy. I think. So it might be some sort of bias there, like going all in on Kevin Huerter. But yeah, Thomas, I think you messaged me the other day, yesterday. You said you might have some questions about the optimizer, anything like that. So if you do have any questions, be sure to ask. We can go over them like during the show. It's a lot easier to kind of show you here while the screen's up.
Garry, I sent you a I sent you something from Ghostify. It's the final results from his 2K sim. We can take a look at that quickly if you want to.
Yeah, let's load that up. Before we get into Ghostify's 2K simulation here, bit of housekeeping. If you haven't already, hit the like button. We're almost at 20. I think we can get to 20 today. Last time Chris tried to rally us to 20. Definitely didn't get us there. I think we did a bit worse than the other day. So if we can get to 20, that'd be nice today. Other than that, like if you guys aren't subscribed, be sure to do that. Hit the bell button, hit all, so you get notified when we go live. YouTube would also put it like at the front of your page. Free content here, quality content. Chris always says this. He didn't say it today, but he's like a mid to high stakes cash player every day. So definitely quality content here. It's not just like some random YouTube content producer here. Like he knows his stuff. So like he puts his money where his mouth is. So good place to be. Other thing, be sure if you like the projections, if you like the optimizer, go to dfscrunch.com. 3-day free trial. You can try it out, no risk at all. You also get access to our Discord. We have a bunch of sports, lots of stuff there, so be sure to do that. Let's get into the simulation here. Heat 66, Philadelphia 81. What do you see here, Chris?
Obviously, this wasn't a 12-minute game. Maybe in your next simulation, make it 12 minutes. Don't know which sliders you're using either, so that kind of makes a difference. But yeah, as you can see, we got Hero. On the Heat side, we got all our locks here. Obviously, can't put too much weight in this just because it's a 2K NBA 2K simulation. Ben Simmons scoring 29 points. He might have the old version of 2K. Doesn't have the updated stats on Simmons. Like, I don't think Simmons is putting up 29 points anytime soon. But yeah, appreciate him for doing this.
Yeah, well, we see the stress there, 4 points. You're not too high on stress today, so it's good to see that the simulation and your insights there kind of align. So that's always good. Anush in the chat is saying, "I know Chris in real life!" ! Eyes emoji. Anush with the exclamation marks. He loves them.
He's the emoji king. Like his emojis are always on point. He always has the triumph one with the steam coming out of the nose. He has the sobbing one with the crying face. Just always on point with the emojis.
Yeah, for sure. Brent's saying, appreciate you guys. This is outstanding stuff. Thank you. It's nice to hear. That is why we do this content here, to help you guys do better in your DFS. Hasty saying sharpest projections in the game. Agreed there. Ghostify is saying it was 12 minutes. And he's saying he has everything updated. He's also asking what game should he simulate next.
Probably the Rockets game. You probably won't get it in time before the show ends, but I would say the Rockets game.
Rockets game, yeah.
If you're into that sort of simulation thing.
Yeah. Anush is asking Jokic or Embiid. I thought Anush was a bit better at DFS. Like if you're experienced, you would know. I'm calling him out. You would know. You would have to state what type of format, cash or tournament, and then you'd have to say the site as well.
I know he's a Fanduel guy. I don't think it's the worst question. Like, obviously they're 1K apart price-wise. My current lineup has Jokic just because I have the salary to go up to him. But if you're playing Embiid for 10-2, I don't mind that at all. Probably in tournaments, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say between the two. Just fill it out as the last piece. See where your salary ends up before you fill out center, and then just play whoever you have the money for.
Yep.
Like obviously in a vacuum, if it's a 1v1, Jokic projects for 6 points better. So it's not just a straight 1v1 here. It's a 2v2 or 3v3 or whatever.
Yep. Ghostify, he started the simulation. We'll have that in about an hour for you guys in the Discord, I guess. Do you want to go over your favorite plays of the day? We can do the favorite lock, favorite play of the day, all formats, both sites.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we can probably wrap it up.
Yep. Yeah, let's do that. If you guys have any other questions as well, we can answer them, so be sure to do that now. If not, we'll be in the Discord after the show for all the premium subscribers, so We're always there, always updating our core plays there as well, leading up to lock with any news. Who's your first on FanDuel? Who's your core favorite player of the day?
It's just Christian Wood. No need to get cute there. I don't even want to spend too much time analyzing it. I've talked about him enough. It's just an easy play.
Okay, let's do rapid fire today then. Draftkings, who's your favorite player of the day?
Same thing, Christian Wood, 7-7, so better price tag. Yeah, no need to get cute.
Okay, let's do this rapid fire style, Chris. Fade of the day, FanDuel, GPP fade of the day. Who is it?
So we can do it rapid fire, but I still want to get the parameters set. So with the lock of the day, it's someone I'll have in both formats. I'm good with in both formats, tournaments and cash games. Fade of the day is someone that I'm using as leverage where I'm fading. I'm going to have the guy in my cash games 9 times out of 10. So it's only a tournament fade. It's not a cash game fade. So on FanDuel, we can start with Jokic. Like, he should be chalky there in tournaments. If you go down to like Cousins, your build is completely different. So I don't mind that in tournaments. So that's probably why Jokic is my fade there.
Okay, DraftKings fade of the day there. GPP fade of the day. Who is it?
So on DraftKings, probably these Rockets value guys. Like I would make a group where you only play one of the 3 or one of the 4 between Macklemore, Sterling Brown, David Nwaba, and Jayshawn Tate. So yeah, it's one of the Rockets guys. I mean, it's not one of the Rockets guys. I would play a maximum of one of them in my tournament lineups.
Yeah, I'll just quickly go over that in case someone's wondering how to do that. Probably Thomas wouldn't know how to do that if he's doing that. You would just do that here. You would put all the players in here that he mentioned. Nwaba, Tate, who's the other guy? Brown.
Yeah.
And then you would just set that to 0 to 1. So that means in this group, every lineup will have at least 0 players here. So you might get a team with 0, none of these guys, and then at most have 1 of these guys. So you're never going to have more than 1, and you'll never have, so you can have 0 and you can have only 1.
You'll never get a team with 0 just because these guys project so well today. So yeah, that's the reason for the fade, is obviously to use them as leverage against the field, just because I don't think they have great ceilings. I think probably one of them, maybe even 2 of them, could have a ceiling game, but not all 4. I'm gonna have 3 of those guys in my cash game lineup, so I'm not saying it's a fade in cash games. Like I said, it's just tournaments.
Yeah, tournaments you always want to be a little different if you want to take it down yourself, but you obviously still want to take into account like the good plays of the day. You don't want to like completely fade like a really good play. Just depends on your style as well. Next up, salary relief value play of the day on FanDuel. Who do you have there, Chris? I guess that's kind of, I mean, there's so much of it today, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I got to pick my favorite here. I'm deciding between Precious and Ben McLemore. I think Precious is going to be more popular, but I'll say Ben McLemore, 3.7K, a bit cheaper than Precious at shooting guard. So yeah, I'll say Benny Mac.
Benny Mac. Okay, and then DraftKings, who's your salary relief value play of the day there?
So it's one of these Heat guys that I said were my fades in tournaments. I mean, I got to go with my favorite here, so let's just keep it the same as FanDuel. Let's go with Benny Mac as well.
Okay, last one here. We have your GPP tournament play of the day. FanDuel, who do you have?
Let me just see real quick. I'll go with... it's a little tough. Let's go with LaMelo Ball. He's 7.8K. You're gonna get him probably 5% owned. Coming off a rough game last time out, I think that you can probably get a ceiling game here against the Raptors. They don't play great defense. We've seen 50s from him. We've seen 40s from him in the past. So I definitely think he has upside for a 50-point game here. And you'll get him at super low owned.
Yeah, Raps play fast for sure. DraftKings, if you were to ask me, I would say Boucher. But I'm asking you, who's your GPP play of the day here?
Yeah, so let's go with Chris Boucher. I was gonna say that
Yes,
even
let's
before
go.
you said that. He's priced lower on DraftKings, 6.5K. So, I mean, if you wanna go there in the mid range, your build will get a little bit different. So I definitely don't mind Chris Boucher on DraftKings.
Yeah, I love Chris Boucher on DraftKings. So, um, okay, I think that's it. If there's any other questions you guys have, we can go over that. Anything you want to say, Chris, about today, the slate?
I mean, hopefully we have another good slate. We've been crushing this whole season. I'm gonna be playing NHL as well today. I'll have some tournament lineups, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to use the tool to build out some stacks. If you guys have any questions on maybe what my stack groups look like, I'll be happy to answer in the Discord. And yeah, obviously in NBA, hopefully we crush again. Hopefully this value comes through for us, and we gotta pray for no blowouts.
Yep. And last housekeeping, last plug for the day. Before you guys leave for the day, be sure to hit subscribe if you're not. Hit the bell button, hit all so you get notified when we go live. It's solid, free DFS content, 2.5 hours before main slate every single day. I love to say this because it's important to know. Chris is like a mid to high stakes cash player, so super great insight here, super valuable stuff, all for free as well. Like, you guys get your questions answered here. You don't have to be a subscriber or anything. Like, it's really a great place to be if you're playing FanDuel or DraftKings. So definitely do that stuff if you enjoy it. Other thing, follow us on Twitter, DFS Crunch, at DFS Crunch. It's in the description. And last thing here, if you want to join our community in Discord, if you want to use our optimizer for your GPP lineups, if you want to use our projections, just go to dfscrunch.com. If you've never been a member, you get 3 days free. You get access to every single sport, every slate that we have. You get access to our Discord, community, lots of stuff there. We have late swap working now. We actually fixed it recently, so definitely a great place to be. Be sure to check that out. And with that said, we'll be in the Discord updating core plays as they come out. As news comes out, we'll be updating that. And yeah, Chris already said it, but good luck today. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in.